Section 400 Service Equipment. 401 General. This section covers installation requirements for service conductors and equipment used for control and protection of services. This section also contains specific disconnecting means requirements for self-contained meter sockets associated with 480Y/277 volt service and distributed generation (DG) systems. 402 Service entrance conductors. Generally, only one set of service entrance conductors can be supplied from a service lateral or service drop. Where additional sets of service entrance conductors permitted by exceptions in the National Electrical Code, NEC, for multi-occupancy type buildings are installed from an auxiliary gutter ahead of CPS energy metering equipment, the metering equipment and tenant service disconnects shall be grouped and located immediately adjacent to the gutter. The total number of service disconnecting means shall be in accordance with the NEC and Article 406, refer to definition of service entrance conductors. Note 1. Customer shall use nipples to connect metering equipment and tenant service disconnects to gutter. Where special circumstances require the use of lengths more than a nipple, CPS Energy shall first approve such installation and customer shall install service entrance conductors in RMC or IMC conduits and limit the distance to as short as possible. Note 2. CPS Energy does not permit multiple sets of service entrance conductors to be connected directly to the service drop. Note 3. Service entrance conductors including the grounded conductor shall be insulated. Conductor insulation shall be a type approved by the NEC. Note 4. CPS Energy will not permit feeder or branch circuit conductors to be installed in auxiliary gutters or wireways containing service entrance conductors. 403 Service disconnecting equipment. Customer shall provide means to disconnect all conductors in a building or other structure from the service or service entrance conductors. The service disconnecting means shall be installed in accordance with the NEC and applicable codes, refer to definition of service equipment. 403 Suitable for use as service equipment. Service equipment rated 600 volts or less shall be marked to identify it as being suitable for use as service equipment and shall be listed, refer to definition of listed. 403 Suitable for use conditions. Each service disconnecting means shall be suitable for the prevailing conditions. Service equipment installed in hazardous, classified, locations shall comply with the specific requirements of the NEC. 403 Available short circuit current. Equipment shall be capable of handling the maximum fault current available at its supply terminals in accordance with the NEC. Equipment is required to be marked with the maximum available fault current. Customer shall coordinate with CPS Energy's customer service representative to obtain available fault current information. 403 For working space. In no case shall the workspace in the vicinity of electrical service equipment be less than that required by the NEC and not less than that required in Section 1800 for metering equipment. 403 5 Bonding of service equipment. The non-current carrying metal parts of service equipment shall be bonded in accordance with the NEC and applicable codes. Each service shall be grounded in accordance with the NEC and other applicable codes, refer to Section 1700. 403 6 Grounded conductor brought to each service disconnect. Where an electrical system operating at less than 1000 volts is grounded at any point, the grounded conductor, S, shall be sized per the NEC and be routed with the ungrounded conductors to each service disconnecting means grounded conductor, S, or terminal bus. A main bonding jumper shall connect the grounded conductor, S, to each service disconnecting enclosure. Exception. Where more than one service disconnecting means is located in a single assembly listed for use as service equipment, it shall be permitted to connect the grounded conductor, S, to the assembly common grounded conductor, S, or terminal bus. Assembly shall include a main bonding jumper for connecting the grounded conductor, S, to the assembly enclosure. 403 7 Identification marking. Service disconnecting means shall be permanently marked to identify it as a service disconnect. Where a building is supplied by more than one service, a permanent plaque or directory shall be installed at each service disconnect location denoting the other service. 438 Equipment connected to supply side of service disconnect. Connections permitted by the NEC to be made on the supply side of the service disconnect shall not be made by splicing or tapping within the service disconnect. Exception: surge protection and / or current limiting devices. 404 Means of identifying grounded and ungrounded conductors. CPS Energy requires grounded and ungrounded conductors to be identified as described below. 404 1 Grounded conductors. Customer shall clearly and permanently identify the grounded, neutral, conductor, S, before CPS Energy installs service. A. Sizes number 8 AWG or smaller. An insulated grounded conductor of number 8 AWG or smaller shall be identified by a continuous white or gray outer finish along its entire length on other than green insulation along its entire length. B. Sizes larger than number 8 AWG. An insulated grounded conductor larger than number 8 AWG shall be identified either by a continuous white or gray outer finish or on other than green insulation along its entire length, or at the time of installation by a distinctive white marking at its terminations. Such white marking shall remain readily visible after termination of conductors at service. 404 2 Means of identifying ungrounded conductors. Ungrounded conductors shall be distinctively marked as shown below to identify phasing and voltage but shall not have insulation colors of white, natural gray or green. A. Within CPS Energy metering equipment. For proper identification and safe operation of CPS Energy metering equipment, the conductors within CPS Energy metering equipment shall be distinctively marked at their terminations as follows unless otherwise specified by CPS Energy. Color of ungrounded conductor: type of service: phase A, phase B, phase C, 208Y/120 volt, black, red, blue, 480Y/277 volt, purple, brown, yellow, 240 delta/120 volt, blue, black, orange, high leg, C. 404 2, B, below, B, within customer service equipment. When identifying ungrounded conductors in customer service equipment, identification as shown for metering equipment above would apply with the exception that the high leg conductor shall be connected as the center leg in all customer service equipment, refer to section 1800 and figure 1808. Note: where conductors are marked as shown above, CPS Energy will connect service for ABC phase rotation, clockwise indication on a phase sequence indicator. This color code applies to all three-phase services, overhead or underground. Permanent plaque and / or labeling to indicate this termination within metering equipment enclosures will be required. 405 Location of customer service disconnecting equipment. The customer-owned service disconnecting means shall be installed in accordance with requirements established in the NEC and other applicable codes and shall meet the specific provisions outlined by CPS Energy in 405 1 through 405 3 below.